Callisons has a rich history in the Pacific Northwest, with roots going back to 1903. As a family-owned company, our past has laid the foundation for who we are today and is part of our ongoing legacy. To celebrate our 120th anniversary, we would like to share Callisons' story in a two-part series, exploring who we have been so that you can better understand who we are today. This is the story of how Callisons went from Botanicals to Mint and covers our history from 1903 to the early 50s. Our story starts with our founder, Israel Putnam Callison, a school teacher from Chehalis, Washington, who owned and operated the local newspaper and is the great-grandfather of Callisons' current CEO, Jim Burgett. In 1903, a Canadian speculator came to town looking for a financial partner to fulfill a contract for cascara bark. A deal was struck, and 60,000 pounds of cascara bark was gathered and delivered, making it the largest order to date. Cascara bark is native to the Pacific Northwest and treats a variety of digestive issues. The speculator left town, and I.B. Callison brokered new contracts, and Callisons became the world's largest supplier of cascara bark, handling over 70% of worldwide requirements, along with growing the greens gathering business. A decade later, World War I disrupted the import of digitalis into the U.S., a drug that regulates the heart. This need drove Callisons' expansion into FOXGLOVE, a plant that is native to the Pacific Northwest and the source of the life-saving drug. Following World War I, I.B. Callison brought his sons Cecil, Clarence, and Henry Callison into the family business, marking the official start of I.B. Callison & Sons. As the company evolved, innovation remained a driving force within Callisons. In the 1940s, Callisons expanded the gathering business into agriculture, with the domestication of wild foxglove leaf. This was followed by the development of a concentrated, water-soluble cascara bark powder with improved quality and consistency, and digitoxin, a pure crystalline form of digitalis with none of the negative side effects. In 1941, Callisons purchased W.J. Lake & Company, a pharmaceutical company that produced extracts, syrups, resins, and tinctures. With this purchase, I.B. Callison & Sons received several drums of peppermint oil. This changed the company's direction, and I.B. Callison & Sons entered the mint market, an industry it still leads today. Mint was a natural expansion for Callisons, supported by its dual roots in agriculture and science. Callisons started with test crops of spearmint in the Pacific Northwest, and within the next decade these test crops grew from 450 acres to 12,000, and production grew from 32,000 pounds to 1,175,000 pounds, taking a crop previously grown predominantly in the Midwest regions of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Indiana, to one predominantly grown in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. This expansion was supported by Callisons' national advertising campaign with the slogan, "The finest peppermint comes from the Pacific Northwest." Pacific Northwest oils were studied and classified by districts, each with its own distinctive flavor. The success of the campaign and the work done to establish the Pacific Northwest as a mint-growing region is evident today, with classifications of mint based on mint-growing regions in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Callisons' long-term impact to the current U.S. mint industry will be discussed further in Part 2, The Age of Mint.